Hello friends, let's continue learning Ansible. As I promised you in my last video that we would be taking examples of the copy module. We already have seen how the file module is useful and how it works. Let's use the copy module. It is a bit similar, but it works in a different way. So first of all, what we need is we want to say that on my Docker host, I have a virtual machine and the group name is Docker. I might have 3, 4 machines also under that group. I'm not sure as of now how many I have. So let's include that group and module I want to use is copy module. Arguments that I want to pass to this module is that source. So some source I have to specify and then some destination I have to specify. Let's create a source file first so that we know what we are going to do. So let's create a random file here, get greater than sample file, for example, sample.txt. Good. Hello there. We are going to be copied. Now, the same piece of code we use. So our source is in the same directory, so we are not specifying any path. We just say sample.txt. Destination is under slash tmp. We are transferring this file. Now let's hit enter and see what happens. It's taking a bit time, no problem. If my Docker VMs are not reachable, they can also cause some extra time. But here we got a response and it seems like I have only one machine in the inventory. So changed means some action has been performed, as you know by now, and destination is this, so the file should be present there now. So if you can recall the file module which can confirm if the path is valid, then you use state present, correct, to confirm if the file is present. Value of state must be one of absent directory files. Sorry, I'm saying present. So to make it, to confirm it is present, we use the word file there. We already seen some examples in the previous video. So file, okay, not touch, okay, because if you use the word touch, it will just update the timestamp. And if the file is not there, it will also create an empty file. Now it is confirming that the file is present there. What if we want to check the contents of that file? We can just use our default module, command module, for example, which is the default module, so we don't have to type it. We can just say that this command I want to run, for example, get and the path to the file. Let's run it. You see the output there? It is coming from the remote host only. So the file is present there. Use the file keyword as the value for the state variable here, or parameter we should say. Now we just have seen an excellent example, I would say, how to transfer files. Now I want to create a file, but the file is not already present on my local host, but it is present on the remote host, or maybe it is present on the local host, but I want to use the remote host file already. So the file which is already present here, where? Here, as the destination, we set it earlier, right? Now it becomes source. Now it becomes the source file. Now my destination is somewhere else. For example, under slash where maybe, or under your slash home, some user account, or maybe some application account that you are using. Okay, so let's place it under slash where tmp. So now that becomes my destination. But if I hit enter, would it work? See, we have already seen the example that source is by default the local. Okay, now let's hit enter. So you see, this is a problem now because locally this file is not present under slash tmp. We created in the current directory only. In my current directory is this. So you see, this file is not present, could not find or access this file, right? So it is looking for the file locally only on my Ansible server, not on the remote server where it is certainly present. But what I really mean is remote source true, or yes, you can say. So what is gonna happen now? The source is not considered as the local source. It will be considered as the remote source. That means the file is already present on the remote host, and from there you are performing a copy action. That means you want to copy it to some other directory maybe, right? So let's hit enter now. Now we have a successful operation, right? So from this source we have copied to this location under slash where tmp destination, and you also notice state is file. Okay, so if I want to use it, I want to confirm using the file module. I should say file only here. Okay, now both becomes true because this is also present and this one slash where is also present. So let's check the later one. These double quotes are not required, they are optional. So using the file module, we are confirming, correct? Now, if I misspell the name like this, so the file module is uh, when we have specified this value file for the state parameter, it will not create the file. It will just check if it is present or not, and you can see failed. Failed means the operation was not successful, and as you can see for the state, the value is absent, right? Now we know that the file is present there, but yes, the original file that was there under slash tmp, we want to remove it. So we can use the file module, as we have seen examples of the file module in the previous video also, or lab exercise, I should say. But when you start learning, you add more and more steps, then those steps work together. Okay. So you see the operation is successful. Now state is absent. That means this is not present there. So what you are going to use to confirm it? This only. and it will return a false, a failure, correct? But in the case of the this file in the other location, it will still be false because we have not used the .txt part. So let's use .txt for both of them, for this and the other one. For this, it should fail. It must fail actually. It must fail. Huh? It didn't fail. Why? I marked it absent right earlier. No, no, no. I incorrectly marked the this file absent. No, no, not here. Where we marked it? Here. So we marked it absent and it is already absent. It is not present. So it is not an error. Okay. So nothing was changed. So we just see a success message there, right? Now sample.txt, we mark it absent. So a file which we are marking absent, it is already absent. So there is no no error actually, right? Now this has been changed. Now the state has returned absent. So the thing is, this changed means some action has been taken now successfully. I run the same command again. Since the file is already not present, so we will see a green text there saying success. Means we are not going to perform the same action which has already been performed. That is what it means, idempotency. Right. It's not like it will create and then delete it for us. Now, from here also, we remove it. You should see a changed. Okay. Now done. As you know, now you verify it at your end. I won't do it now. Now, what I want to do is this example uh, which we just saw, that remote source you set it to true or yes. By default, it is false or no. So it will look for the file locally only. Now setting it true means don't look locally, only check on the remote host only. Now next thing is I don't have the file. That means I don't have a source. But I know I want to create this file wherever, let's say under tmp, here some file, for example, some story, some nice story. I want to have that file there. See, I'm giving you random examples that could be your application configuration file also, right? Mm, or system configuration file. So now what I do? Well, if you just want an empty file, you are going to use the file module and use the state touch, correct? But you want the file there and you want some contents also. So some contents on the fly we have to transfer to right into that file. So what we do, content. We use the word content there and we specify some content. For example, content, sorry. Contents or contents. Let's use the plural. Now, contents. What is the content? For example, hello, brother. Okay. Now, let's hit enter. Source or content is required. See, the problem is because I have misspelled it. It is not contents, it is content. So it is saying that either you specify the source or the content. There are so many keywords, some plural, some singulars. It's like learning a language grammar. Huh? Now, you see, the content has been written to this file, and this file was not already present. Destination is this, correct? But the contents we don't see here, for example. Now we want to see, so we can, of course, use the cat command. You see, the message is present there. So use the word content to specify the text for your text file. Now, Ansible dash doc copy module. I have shown you some of the frequently used parameters, options, or the uh, functionalities. There are many others present in there. Backup, checksum. If you noticed the word checksum in there in the result, content we just used it. Decrypt destination we used it. Source we already used. Directory mode, follow, force, etc. Group. Right. There are many available. Mode means what permission mode you want. The same thing which you do with the chmod command, right? Who is going to be the owner or group ownership? Now, remote source, we have already seen it. Now, there are many other source, we have already seen it. Now, I quit out of it. You explore it on your own. See, I'll show you some example. For example, create this file with this content. Let's say OMG. Now, destination is, let's say, guards.txt. Now, I want it to have some specific permissions. For example, only 444, that it is just readable. You can specify user value as well as group value for ownership. Now you see checksum. You also see here this owner and group and mode is 0444. So you can confirm it by running the default command module, right? So instead of this time doing this cat thing, what we do, we can use just ls-l and specify the path to the file, right? So slash tmp, and it is guard.txt. Right, this time I'm going to write -m command, which we don't have to because that is the default module. And just for your understanding. You see, 444. Read. So triple four permission has been set there. We can change the user ownership and the group ownership also. Just specify these words. And as you see, you can specify some other context also. For example, say Linux contexts, security enhanced Linux context if required. Now The thing is, you know very well how to transfer files, how to create files, how to delete them, right? One homework I am giving to you, okay? So let me know in the comments if you are able to do it or not. So far we have seen examples of files only, but what about directories? So when we work with directories, we are working with something called recursion, right? Recursively. So recursively, how to transfer files? Can you do that homework? Well, let me help you a little bit. For example, copy module. Let's see, do we see anything related to recursive? Did when doing a recursive copy? No, 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 this is not. Remote source already taken. See, the copy module recursively copy facility does not scale to loads. That means above hundreds of files. So the thing is, it may create some problem when you have lots of files. So we should not be using it. That is the not there. But how you do the recursive copy, I leave it up to you. You go through this short document, you figure out, you try something else maybe, and then let me know in the comment section what you have done. Okay, so I just quit out of it. Tata, good night.